who can go off at any given night.
Absolutely. You're saying one of them, they got a stacked team. They got 4 players averaging double figures in scoring. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out, a team that could really fill up the basket.
And there was Joshua Strong able to win the opening tip. Some issue with the clock, I believe. Yes. False start on the clock. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Wrong sport, right?
I think so.
Wrong sport. I know we got the crossover day, but wrong sport.
It's a college football Saturday after all. The first possession for a Howard offense averaging 81 points a game, but this Rutgers defense was great against Georgetown and already comes up with a turnover. And there is Andre Hyatt gaining the baseline, but met at the rim.
That was a nice block right there. I like the aggressive offense that Rutgers has come out in.
The Scarlet Knights have made no qualms about it. Want to play faster this year. Steve Peichel says we have a faster, more athletic team. But so does Howard. They want to play quick, and there is Bryce Harris, a guy averaging 18.5 points a game.
As you mentioned, he can score in multiple ways, but Peichel's saying, you know, we want to be an 80-point team. Well, this Howard team is an 80-point team. They know how to score the basketball in multiple ways.
Antoine Woolfolk lost it out of play.
You see Rutgers turning this press on right here. Their defense has really been coming along as the season progresses.
Able to force 21 turnovers of Georgetown, and a lot of it has been the 2-2-1, not necessarily 94 feet, but pretty full court press. Howard gets it inside, and Dom Campbell, the Notre Dame transfer, will go to the line.
And you know, every time they played on this floor, I feel like we've seen a scary foul like that. Last time against Georgetown was Palmquist going up, but you got to stay on your feet here. Don't go for the ball fake, and don't put yourself in a position where you could get injured.
The referees don't give Campbell the continuation, so just a side inbounds. Foul on Woolfolk, his first. And here's Shai Odom up top, preseason MEAC Player of the Year. But there's Derek Simpson taking it away and taking it home.
Woo! Back-to-back steals for Simpson, too. You know, we talked about him in the open. Didn't touch on his defense. Just a core, great defensive, on-the-ball player. And you see it already to start this game.
And now we're headed the other way. Big Cliff takes the charge.
Here, stepping over, hands it right to him. Off to the races here. And that's a easy dunk for Simpson, who has so much energy that he gives his Rutgers team.
And the sophomore guard from Mount Laurel, New Jersey is explosive. Mentioned the 15 points he had against Georgetown, but especially as Rutgers plays early in this season without Mawot Mag, who Steve Peichel says is on the Caleb McConnell National Player, Defensive Player of the Year kind of track. They're looking for other players to support that defense first, lockdown defense mentality Steve Peichel has as a coach.
Absolutely, and he says that his players, they sit down, they guard the ball, they sit in that defensive stand. I feel like that's such an underrated layer of the basketball game right now. Everybody wants to score, everybody wants to drop 30, Steph Curry hitting the step back threes, but the defense is what's going to help you win these games. And right now, Rutgers have been starting out phenomenally on the defensive end, just sitting down, guarding above that three-point line, and being sound on the defensive assignment.
Here's Noah Fernandez, the UMass transfer. Seems like he's figuring out his time here at Rutgers, playing with a ton of experience. But off the mark on three. Around a screen, Marcus Dockery can score it too. 14.5 points a game for him. And Howard has the early 4-point edge.
And you can see already looking for the three ball as soon as they come down, not shy about shooting it.
Simpson able to catch through the contact. Amori in the mid-range, at the back of the rim. And Rutgers an early 1 of 4 from the floor. Howard coming into this off a victory, a 64-53 win over Boston University. Defense was really good in that, but the offense was not as crisp as we've seen. Gone for close to 90 already this year.
Absolutely, and I mean, turnovers have been up and down for them. They didn't have that many last game, but we saw earlier in the year 21 turnovers against Hampton, a team that, you know, they're still trying to figure out how to play with each other as well. They bring back so many different experiences, and when you have that many scores on the team, it's hard to find that balance.
Simpson off the cross, couldn't get it to go, and a run out now for Harris. Through the contact and off the glass. And Howard, a team that is picked to repeat as MEAC champions this year, has the 8-2 lead.
And Howard, just a big body giving you a bump and off the glass fadeaway. He's a talented player.
Quick 5 for Bryce Harris. Now Amori trying to work inside, but he travels. Rutgers has been trying to figure out ways to get their captain Amori going in the early season.
And we see already Howard doubling every single time, and I think that's something that he's going to have to overcome throughout the year. Everybody looking for Big Cliff to get things going, and they know that he is the root and core of this Rutgers team, which is why Coach Peichel tells people, hey, you know, other people can score. Other people's got to do more than what Cliff can do. You got to make yourself available and open so he doesn't have to force it on the offensive end.
Amori averaging 9.5 points and 8.3 rebounds. Somebody who was a near double-double every night last year. 3 subs in for Howard, Jelani Williams and Seth Towns among them. Past their 6th season of college basketball, each of them. Mentioned for Towns, this is year 8. But Rutgers comes up with another takeaway, trying to turn that into offense. Hyatt for 3. No. Scrap for the boards. There's Amori making an impact.
They might have got away with a foul, too. Muscles it in for Amori. Nice job to follow up that shot there.
Steve Peichel says we are a good rebounding team. The athleticism and size will provide that. First offensive rebound of the day for RU right there. Josh Strong passing out of this shot, and AJ Magbagor gets fouled on the lay-in.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Blakely just teaching them how to win on several occasions. He recruits those scores, but they're locking down right here and defending, making everything difficult for Rutgers. So it'll be interesting to see. But if you want to be that championship team, making it to the next round of the NCAA tournament, you're going to have to know how to defend players.
Now, Howard was bounced in the first round of the tournament by Kansas, a game where they lost by 20 points. But a Howard team that's had winning seasons in back-to-back years for the first time since the 80s. So he's building that culture of winning that the program hasn't had in a while.
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it in the players he brings in. They're tough, right? I mean, holding their own here on the road.
Late in the shot clock, Seth Towns in and out. Mentioned Towns, the Ohio State transfer, had 13 points in his Howard debut back on Tuesday, the win over BU. Just trying to get in the groove still. Griffiths changing course, but blocked away. Bryce Harris came in from nowhere. Rutgers still has a chance. Fernandez trying to create and splits the lane. The seas parted there for Noah Fernandez' first points.
An outstanding defense from Howard until the last few seconds of the shot clock. You can't let him get that, the easy lay-in. The seas opened up indeed for a layup for Fernandez.
Rutgers now back within a bucket. Odom backing down Davis, and Jamichael Davis wins it. Now Griffiths ahead of the pack, leaping and slamming.
Everybody on their feet. They love Griffiths. They erupted when he slammed that.
Harris, no. Doesn't take much to get a bunch of New Jersey fans fired up. Fernandez for the lead. He got it. Well, out of the Howard timeout, the Scarlet Knights are on an 8-0 run over the last 3 minutes. And now they'll sit down again into this full court press. And that was a better break from Howard. Howard with 9 turnovers in 11 minutes of basketball. The reason they had the lead early, they were shooting almost perfect from the floor. Towns off the cross. 0 of 5 from the floor. He's familiar with Rutgers. We mentioned he played at Ohio State Only 1 season healthy, though. Sat out another year with a back surgery. Amori gained the positioning and won. Cliff Amori says, feed me the rock.
An excellent post up there, high. Tried to front him, but there was no help side on the back end. You throw it right over the top. You see here, great positioning. Too late coming over on the backside there. And he absorbs the contact, and that's just too easy for Amori.
Well, you mentioned that teams have been collapsing on Amori. He jokes earlier this season that he thinks everybody heard some comments that he made in the New York Post in a preview article. He had told the reporter, teams better come with a double every time or else you're not going to stop me. And, well, teams have come with a double, if not triple team, every time he gets the ball. And even on that possession, Howard was doubling.
Absolutely, woke him up. Now they know what to look for, so thank you. But they know that he's a beast inside. So that double team has been having to get a handle on him early in the season.
Jordan Hairston misses the 3. Noah Fernandez running out, and 2 more free throws coming up for the Scarlet Knights.
And that was a nice adjustment for Fernandez, running the floor, pinpoint pass, and then going to the right side to kind of draw that contact. This is the tempo and pace that they want to go, and he goes right into the defender, tries to finish that. Terrific body control.
Now Fernandez, the native of Mattapoisett, Massachusetts, near Cape Cod. Called coming to Rutgers a great opportunity, a blessing to be able to play at the Big Ten level for his final season. And had some good consults, some good advice before picking Rutgers. He said before his official visit to RU and then afterwards, chatted a bit with a fellow New England native, Geo Baker, who's a familiar name and familiar face around these parts. Wanted to get to know a little bit about Rutgers. Baker a little bit older than Fernandez, so the two were playing at tournaments at the same time. Another New Englander playing in the Rutgers backcourt. And now we've got a 10 count against Howard as Marcus Dockery couldn't get it across. 10th giveaway.
Saw Fernandez hollering for it, telling the referee, that's 10, ref. I got that. I'm on the ball. Great sit-down defense. Like we said, this is a team that defends. The guards sit down, whether it's a full court, and being able to slow you down in that backcourt. Off the foot here, having to recover. Fernandez yelling for it. Fired up for the 10-second count.
Hyatt back on the floor. Griffiths shooting over the zone. Now we have a foul on the rebound action, and they'll send it the other way.
And that was a deep 3 for Griffiths, but Coach Piper wants him to take those. He says you're in rhythm, you can feel it out.
Fouls on Antoine Woolfolk, his second, and now 4 against Rutgers. Should note too, already 7 fouls against Howard, so Rutgers will be shooting free throws on fouls the rest of this first half. Here's Jelani Williams up top, the 7th-year senior, all-conference last year. Dockery. Harris with 3 on the timer. Dockery, somebody's got a hoist, and Dockery ran out of time before the foul. Lots of contact there from Gavin Griffiths, but all after the shot clock wound down.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Something in transition. Yes. 2 much-needed points for Jelani Williams, who is coming back from missing the first 3 games and has brought 5 big points off the bench as Rutgers turns it over.
I mean, they're still hanging around here, only down 9, and a great job for Williams, Jelani Williams, for weaving through traffic after that block. But, I mean, it's all about being disciplined if you're Howard. You know, you're a scorer, you can shoot it up, but you got to take care of the basketball and run your sets.
And don't forget, Howard started this game making all of its first 4 shots. Since then, it's shooting about 20%. And back in Williams' hands, skip for Dockery. In and out. Batted around. Shai Odom emerges with it. And the sophomore from Roxbury, Massachusetts, will get a couple of free throws from it.
A weird bounce there on the rebound, but you got to use 2 hands to secure that. Thought that was great ball movement for the Bison. The skip pass to the corner, didn't knock it down. As you see, still being relentless on the boards here in Odom.
We mentioned that Howard last year was bounced in the opening round of the NCAA tournament by Kansas. Odom had 15 points and 8 rebounds in that game. He's the sort of guy that, I don't know if it's this year necessarily, could get some association attention in the NBA.
I mean, look at the size of Shai Odom. I mean, the build that he has along with his game. So I can definitely see him fitting in, having some possible NBA opportunities. And he's so young. I mean, a sophomore, being able to play big minutes and dominates in the MEAC. And you're getting that non-conference experience against Power 5 teams.
Oscar Palmquist on the roll. Michael Davis with the assist. Mentioning that backcourt, starting to figure out where to find its guys.
Absolutely. Looking better chemistry-wise, playing together, executing the offense, and hitting that roll to the basket.
Now inside the final 2 minutes of the first half, where Howard led by as many as 7, but now Rutgers has led by as many as 12. And the Bison trying to chip away at this deficit before the break.
Here, coming off hard on the screen, taking 2 guys with you. And Palmquist, great job of moving towards the basket. You know, you come off that roll and nobody cuts, it looks stagnant. It's not your offensive execution. So great heads-up play from him for rolling.
Bryce Harris will get one more at the line after the foul against Andre Hyatt. He's got 2, plus Antoine Woolfolk, who's been on Rutgers' bench for most of the first half. One more for Harris, native of Brentwood, New York, out in Suffolk County. And Rutgers will get it back. Harris had a couple of those early buckets, now 8 points, 4 rebounds. Another one of those dudes who is built, 6'4", 220.
Looks like he should be on the football field.
Simpson, 10 first half points for Rutgers sophomore guard. Back inside for Amori. Gets to the left side and maybe too close to the rim that time. Michael Davis working downstairs. Outsized by the bigger Harris and still is able to come up with the knockaway.
And you can see his speed with that. I mean, you got me pinned down low, but I can still fight around over the top. He's just such a quick player.
This is a Howard team that is not especially tall. Their tallest rotation guys are 6'9", but built, as you mentioned. And Odom over Amori. Scrap for the rebound. Magbagor's got it. Who wins the jump ball? Gavin Griffiths does. Palmquist hesitating and wins a couple of free throws.
Palmquist having some good minutes here, but you see the fight for the basketball here. Thought it was a travel when he rolled over and just threw it up to anybody to save it. And Griffiths come up with it.
Not sure I've ever seen that before.
Usually players just hold the ball or bounce it out, but
not like he was falling out of play. Magbagor just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, I guess he saw his teammate out there. He feel like he could get it to him. But Rutgers came away with it.
One more try for Palmquist, native of Sweden, 5th-year senior. Missed them both. Rutgers 7 of 12 at the stripe so far. A chance for Howard to go 2 for 1 if they want it. I don't think they do. Williams. Towns gets open on the switch and sinks the 3. Seth Towns has his first points of the night.
A little miscommunication there. coming off the switch. You got to talk that out so you can get over to the shooter because Towns can knock it down. And we see here Howard only down 5 going to halftime.
So what does Rutgers have in the final 20 seconds? Simpson starts with 10. Mid-range, no, back rim. 4 seconds, Williams poked away by Fernandez, and now a double dribble. Bring that back.
Tough break there. Rutgers having a chance to get a shot up with 2 seconds left on the clock. You could execute something here and get something.
So Oscar Palmquist, a 3-point shooter, will get back on the floor. And Gavin Griffiths will trigger in. Simpson steps in, that's in time, and it's good! Derek Simpson beats the first half horn.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
The 8-year graduate student from Columbus, Ohio, played 2 years at Ohio State. We mentioned him at the top of the broadcast. Somebody who has battled through multiple knee injuries, had back surgery that squashed his last year at Ohio State. Sat out last year voluntarily because of all of the injuries. Wanted to get his body healthy and strong. This is a very veteran Howard team with 6 guys in grad school, pardon me, 7 guys in grad school, and Towns one of those stories.
And I mean, a remarkable story at that. I mean, you think about the freshman class that's coming in for Howard. They were 10 or 11 years old when he played his first season of college basketball. He comes away here with the steal, showing us he still got it. But when we talked to Coach Peichel before the game, one thing he said, these players are old. They're experienced. They are veterans. He said, I mean that in a good way. Having a team with so much experience is rare, you know, right? You get picking up all these players from the transfer portal, and it's nice to see Towns can still go out there and show his stuff.
And Towns mentioned in his 8th year of college, he's been playing college basketball as long as Steve Peichel has been Rutgers head coach. Both of them in their 8th years. Towns turned 26 years old earlier this month, got cleared by the NCAA, got the waiver to play this year. It came in earlier this week. That's why he made his Howard debut in the win over Boston University on Tuesday. And Jelani Williams, another one, committing the foul there. He's in his 7th year of college. Talk about recipe for success by the time you get to March. All of this experience could pay dividends for the Bison.
Yeah, they're able to string it all together and play together to get it done by the end of the year. It'll be incredible to see. We already know that this is such a talented team on the offensive end.
Howard has cut it down to an 8-point difference. Clearly trying to play through Towns in the second half. Now Harris steps out, and he's one and done. Rutgers, meanwhile, hasn't scored in almost 3 minutes, trying to find some life on this side. Hyatt got inside. Perfect positioning for Andre Hyatt.
And that was a great pass from Griffiths, finding him right under the goal. To get that deep, that's an easy lay-in for Hyatt.
The captain's got 5 points. Skip to Jelani Williams, playing with 4 fouls. Quick shot from Strong. That's down. Joshua Strong has his first points of the night. It's a 3.
And I feel like Howard has been getting those open 3 balls. They just haven't been able to knock them down as much, but you see one there. Again, the crowd silencer, down 7.
Fernandez, very nearly had it. Howard has done a better job of holding on to the basketball in the second half. Just 2 turnovers. Towns back to work. 6'9". Disposes of Davis. Now Dockery, that's good too. Howard has made it a 4-point game.
Event.
Howard with the 3 there from Dockery. The closest the Bison have gotten since midway through the first half. Antoine Woolfolk heard your advice. He gets downhill, and Rutgers has 2 more points.
And I haven't been able to see the Bison stop them from going into paint. So I think that they should just keep on pounding the paint right now.
Dockery out of control. Second chance wouldn't fall either for Odom. Griffiths in attack mode. Hyatt back on the block. 2 more points. Andre Hyatt building a house on that block.
That's a mismatch down there for him. Takes that power dribble, sizes up, and aggressively just takes that to the rack.
Back-to-back buckets out of the Rutgers timeout to rebuild the lead to 8. Odom got stuck. Now Towns shakes Griffiths and sticks it. The 8th year against the 1st year, and the veteran wins the battle. It's a 3.
We highlighted him in the open. We talked about him a little bit on this broadcast. Is a scorer. When he was Ivy League Player of the Year in his 2nd year in his career, he was shooting 44% from 3. He can knock down the 3 ball, and we see it already here tonight.
Gavin Griffiths says, anything you can do, I can do too. That is a battle to watch over the final 11 minutes. Towns feeds the post instead. Odom for Harris, working on Woolfolk, and bullies his way to the rim. Bryce Harris into double figures, he's got a dozen.
And that was a really patient drive from him. Seeing the defender step up, try to take that charge, and just stopped. Just kissed it off the glass.
I mentioned that Harris is built like a forward, built like a linebacker, really. Griffiths back at it with authority. Gavin Griffiths ripping the rim.
Like you said, a matchup we've been looking for, the rookie and the vet, and the rookie got some hops.
Back on their feet inside Jersey Mike's arena, and this will get them louder.
Up here, the athleticism, I talk about it all the time, taking off for Griffiths, getting to the rim. And right now, Rutgers have figured it out offensively. We got to go inside. Driving baseline, seeing him develop right before our eyes has been a joy to watch. He just has so many dimensions to his game.
Mostly been getting inside the paint. That's where Cliff Amore is.
You know what? I think he saw Griffiths dunk and he said, you know what? I'm going to raise you one higher. I can slam it down too.
Cliff Amore just dunked that like he was mad at the rim. 13 points for Big Cliff, and Rutgers leads by 9. Dockery, wow. Spicy step back 3.
Spicy is right. That was a tough shot there. Howard not going away, getting these 3 balls to really rain down right now.
Rutgers has made its last 5 shots. Hyatt keeps it going. A tray for Andre.
And that just speaks to him being such a leader for this team. Was 0 of 2, wasn't looking for his 3 ball as much. Had a quiet game, but knocks down another big one here for Rutgers. And we've seen him do that time and time again to start the season.
Rutgers trying to turn up the defense. Strong. No. Fernandez in rhythm. Book it.
Why not?
Back-to-back threes for Rutgers and back in front by a dozen.
Why not? I mean, we saw this against Georgetown. When they get that 3-ball rolling, Coach Michael has said this team can shoot. They can fill up the stat sheet from the three-point line, and you see them letting them fly right now.
Now Fernandez getting down to defend. It's a turnover. Hyatt ahead of the pack.
And the crowd is into it right now. Rutgers having everything working for them. The defense is on point. The offense is on point. The slam dunks is on point. 10 out of 10 here for offense for Rutgers basketball.
Timeout Howard. Rutgers on an 8-0 run. And thankfully the rim's still attached to the backboard.
And I mean, look at here. The rim's still attached to the backboard, but Hyatt raining in a three. Fernandez joining in on the party. They making it rain, and they making it slam dunk here. Together, playing as one right now, and the offense has just been rolling.
From that last sequence, I think Cliff Amori wins, right?
I would think so.
Two hands, backboard barely hanging on. Now he's got the block. Cliff Amori owns the paint tonight. And Rutgers has its largest lead of the evening, thanks to an 8-0 run, all in the last minute and a half. Rutgers trying to extend its winning streak to 4 games in a row. Simpson, 2 free throws coming up for the sophomore guard who got Rutgers going early and really hasn't stopped.
You see the burst of speed coming back into the game, making an immediate impact. He's so good at drawing contact. We talk about how he gets to the free throw line and knocks him down. I mean, that is an underrated part of his game, of just being able to absorb that contact and reward yourself by shooting some free throws.
I mentioned this when Simpson went to the stripe earlier in the first half. It's perfect at the line so far this year. Now 17 for 17.
And that's what you want in your point guard. You're going to be in those positions where you're handling the ball at the end of the games when you start getting to conference play. So seeing them flawless from the line, definitely a plus.
A plus for a guard of a coach like Steve Peichel. Music to the eyes, right?
Absolutely. It just goes in, swish. Such a smooth shot.
Now Rutgers by 16 as Marcus Dockery gets held up, and it's a jump ball that will give Rutgers the possession. Noah Fernandez has hit a couple of big threes in his second half, but how about his defense?
The guard defense has been outstanding. I mean, it's so hard, tough to get around, and they're battling. They're shooting the passing lanes. If you put the ball out in front of them, they're going to try to take it away.
That's been personal tonight for Fernandez. At least he's playing like it. 5 steals. Rutgers as a team has 11. Here's Simpson going to work. Hezzy to the rim, 2 more. Derek Simpson with a 20-piece tonight.
And that's nice. Switch of hands in the air, the body control. Tremendous attack. And one thing he always does is he keeps his dribble until he sees what he wants on the offensive end.
This, at the end of last year, when Simpson was starting and scoring in double figures, is what folks wondered would be in store for Simpson. He's found it. Hyatt, some more. No. But Amori has the offensive rebound. And Rutgers will settle it down with 6.5 to play, having ballooned the lead back up to 18. Late in the shot clock, Simpson fouled. And should be 3 free throws here for Derek Simpson, as Towns was a little heavy on the closeout.
And we talk about Simpson just being able to get to the free throw line and rack up these points. Definitely going to come into play in conference play. You saw him in rhythm looking for a 3-point shot. Gets fouled.
He's human.
Wow.
Bound to happen at some point,
Bound
right?
to happen at some point. That's not the broadcaster jinx at all. Like, I mean, it just couldn't have been. Bound to happen at some point. He's not a superhero, everyone.
There you go. Now one more coming up for Simpson, product of Lenape High School down in South Jersey. He was the program's all-time leading scorer, but was ranked as the number 247th recruit in his class. Steve Pikiell's gotten a lot of those kinds of guys. Now turn them into starters and stars. And Simpson with 21 tonight. Towns off the shake. He's stuffed. Hyatt and Amori met him up top. Simpson tried to bully his way in and wanted that. On a slip, Odom stopped by Hyatt. Fernandez weaving and fouled. Feels like these Rutgers guards are more comfortable pushing the pace.
Absolutely, and you can see them just, they look in much better rhythm. I feel like when they're getting these fast break points, that's when everything starts rolling for them offensively because they're being aggressive. They're getting to the free throw line, the spin move here from Fernandez, getting a hand in there and the foul. But back to the defensive end, every single time Howard seems like they have a wide open layup, a Rutgers player just flies in and defends the rim. And that's something you got to be proud of if you're Coach Pikiell. Your team being relentless, not giving up on the play, just shuffling over, and they just haven't been able to get a basket underneath the rim.
It's 11 steals and 6 blocks for Rutgers tonight. I mentioned Fernandez has had 5 of those takeaways. And gets 1 of 2 plus a rebound. Rutgers in the last 5 minutes is on an 18-3 run to turn that 4-point game into a 20-point cushion. And now the foul will be on Odom, who landed a little awkwardly too. They might try to drive Howard over the limit, so Rutgers will get a 1-and-1 out of this. Foul is the 9th against Howard, which hasn't turned the ball over as much, but can't stop Rutgers in transition. 59%, that's what Rutgers is shooting in this second half.
The defense, like we mentioned, Howard known much more for their offense, and I thought they came out in the first half playing much sounder defense. But you see, going back to those old habits, not protecting the paint, leaving shooters wide open.
Jelani Williams beats Amori to the rim that time. Maybe that's the strategy.
Keep them away from the rim or beat them to the rim. That's what you're going to have to do. Shake and bake there.
And a foul on the floor will wipe it out. But with Howard now committing its 10th foul, it's a double bonus for RU and 2 free throws for Davis. Now, something that Steve Pikiell said that stuck out to me, that is, as a defender the caliber of Jamichael Davis's, has to be such a compliment. Steve Pikiell called this freshman guard a pest. He has been a pest, especially these last couple of games as he's gotten into the flow of college basketball.
Wreaking havoc on the defense and the offensive end. We've seen the burst of speed, and Simpson said, that boy fast. Can't say it any better than that. And we've seen the impact of the speed on both ends of the floor, so he has a bright future for the freshman.
Now Simpson back on the floor with Davis. Odom driving into Amori, and it's a foul. Foul on Cliff is his 3rd. Something he's always keeping an eye on, the foul trouble, especially earlier in games. 2 free throws now for Odom, who has been quieted tonight. 2 points, 5 rebounds for a guy who came into this averaging 12 points a night.
It just goes to show you the defense, and like we said, just turning the basketball over, because we know that these players are talented, and Odom definitely can score it. But they can't set up your offense. You can't really score the basketball. So this is something that we saw really plague the Bison, and when they were able to go on that run, just had better discipline on the offensive end.
Griffiths rolling on the screen. Rutgers staying active offensively, even off the ball, and Oscar Palmquist gets rewarded there with 2 points.
Great ball movement without the ball. Coming off the screen there in the fadeaway jumper, and Palmquist gets a block here. That looked like a two-handed block almost.
Like Oscar Palmquist is back home playing volleyball. Block party out in full force tonight for RU.
Yeah, coming over 2 hands. It just speaks to the athleticism that we've seen in this Rutgers team. We've seen a block party, a slam fest, slam dunk contest. We've seen everything. But the way they can elevate and get up to the rim on both ends of the floor has just been fun to watch.
Something that Steve Pikiell from his opening press conference at Media Day has said, that this team is athletic, about as fast as we have had here in Piscataway, and now his 8th season at the helm. And proof is in the results. 22 fast break points tonight for Rutgers. That's another one that Steve Pikiell is going to keep his eye on as the season has gone on. One of those benchmarks, if we get there, we're running fast enough.
He wants to play up-tempo. This is a fast team. Said that last game he felt like that was one of the lower numbers that we had. We want to get off and running, and we're just better that way. And you see it right here from Palmquist, pushing the pace, and Simpson with the shovel pass to find his teammate and lay it in for the and one.
Body control from Oscar Palmquist coming alive late.
Fading away, eyes up on the goal. 2 defenders right there. Didn't take his eyes off of the basket so he could score that.
Oscar Palmquist, a guy who's happy to be back, well documented. Went into the transfer portal after last year, committed to Elon, but then space opened at Rutgers and decided to return to RU. You see the captain's C on his chest. And be a big part of this team, regardless of exactly what his role is, starter or off the bench. And he's got 7 points as Rutgers keeps that lead at 20, now 21. Rutgers doesn't have another game till the Thanksgiving break, so trying to ride into that with a winning streak. They get a foul away from the possession. Pushing the back on the rebound. And it's on Palmquist. 3 on Oscar, and now 6 against Rutgers. Quick in for Towns. No. Steph Towns tonight, 10 points, 5 rebounds in 25 minutes off the bench. Amori gained all the space. Tons of room for Cliff Amori to go right back to the rim.
And he knew he had seconds to make a decision right there, and the help side defender ran past him going for that steal, so pinpoint pass for him to score it.
Joshua Strong off the bounce. Made that look easy. Cliff Amori tonight, 15 points, 14 boards. Another one of Cliff's best performances early in the season. And Simpson couldn't save that. As soon as they throw the basketballs up, you know that it is no longer summer.
Right.
Now, Rutgers does not have a game during Thanksgiving break. Their next game is not until 9 days from now. They'll play St. Peter's here at Jersey Mike's Arena the Monday after Thanksgiving. That game will be right back here with us on Big Ten Plus. And so looking for smiles and a nice week off, because even with 3 wins, you'll lose the game before a break, and it sort of puts a bad taste in your mouth.
Absolutely. Coming back for revenge, having that bad taste. But these games they've been having to prep for have been some quick turnarounds. And, you know, credit the team and the conditioning for getting them in shape, being ready to play on a high level and get these wins at home. But getting some rest is definitely time where you can lock in on the film, make those adjustments that you want to make for getting ready to play that non-conference game and then going into the Big Ten.
Derek Simpson will enjoy his break. Antonio Chol just checked in. Redshirt freshman forward. And in and out on 3. For Rutgers, this is the 4th game in 9 days. The wins over BU, Bryant, and most recently Georgetown. For Howard, turnaround is a lot quicker. They've got to play Bryant Monday night. And here's AJ Magbagor as they've dug into their bench, nearing the final 2 minutes. That's off the mark. Antoine Wolfel running the break. Chol, mid-range. Everybody talks about Antonio Chol and his shooting prowess. Has not had a lot of time on the floor, but man, the stroke looks smooth.
And you can see that he stays ready. Doesn't have a lot of minutes on the floor, but comes out, I ain't cold, I can shoot the ball. And he goes right, he shot the 3 to come out, missed it, rimmed out, came down the next play and shot a mid-range. It just shows that he's just an offensive scorer and he can get in any rhythm whenever you give him the ball.
Not easy to do for Chol, somebody who obviously, just like everybody, comes from a great high school background, the guy. And then you're sitting on the bench for an hour and a half, minus your warm-up. Come in the game and be ready to roll.
And I think that's so mentally challenging, right? To psych yourself up to get out there and play those minutes. But he's had some productive minutes. A great rebounder. We said it. He can shoot. Be able to add some things to this Rutgers team when needed.
One more free throw for Elijah Williams, Jelani's younger brother. He got 1 out of 2. Williams, another one of those grad students on this veteran Howard team. Mentioned there's 7 in their rotation. The team that could make some noise come postseason time.
And you definitely see the potential here. Just a few things they have to figure out. Still early in the year.
Uh-oh. Simpson split it, missed it. Ready to print the poster there after splitting the double team.
And blow by and getting into the lane. Just said, Rutgers has been so successful of doing 48 points in the paint. And Simpson, we've seen that nifty lay-in he likes to do off the glass.
And it's a career high tonight for Derek Simpson. 22 points on 7 of 10 shooting. Scored just 4 points in the first 2 games. Had a cold week, let's call it. And now we'll get the applause as he exits with a career high 23. And Rutgers fan favorite walk-on Aiden Terry is on the court. And so Rutgers 70 seconds away from moving to 4-1 on the season. A 4-game winning streak. I mentioned stacking wins. That's what Rutgers is trying to do here in November with Big Ten play 2 weeks from today. Scarlet Knights will host Illinois here on this floor. This jumper goes for Taylon Lewis, grad student. Now Rutgers defense tonight took care of business, especially early. Forced 21 turnovers, 11 steals. But Steve Peichel told us before the game today, Dom, we're an 80-point team. Now look at the total tonight for the Scarlet Knights.
First game of the year with 80-plus points here tonight. And it's a positive sign to show that you can score multiple ways. And I even thought Hyatt had a quiet game, really came on a little bit in the second half. And Terry, he laughs a little bit. He gets a rebound there.
Well, a big man's offensive rebound from Aiden Terry. And Rutgers will have to take one more shot. Wolfel tries a 3. And J. Mike's got it. Shot clock went off, but that'll just about do it. Rutgers can continue the final 4 seconds. Don't forget, this was a little dicey for Rutgers, even in the second half. Howard cut the difference to 4, but Derek Simpson and some sharp 3-point shooting from Rutgers turned the tide.
And Coach Peichel said this team's got some grit. They got some grit about them. They figure it out. They're evolving every day. Every game, they're trying to get better, and we see that here with the score. And like I said, Hyatt had a particularly quiet night to start the game. He figured it out. Fernandes, 12 points. Simpson, 23. Omori, 15. You were getting scoring from all cylinders for the Scarlet Knights, so that's got to be a positive thing going forward.
4 guys in double figures, but nobody had the night that Derek Simpson did. A career-high 23 for the sophomore from New Jersey.